TechTale 76. It's July 6th, 7:20 a.m. This morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm planning to have a live stream session for lab work, and it's a troubleshooting challenge essentially. If you go to a new browser tab, type in youtube.com/LWTDB, press enter, you'll get to my channel page. LWTDB is the acronym for the name of my channel. This right here will show you the scheduled live stream for today, and over here on this line it should show you your local time. Now, if you click on that, it takes you into the live stream, even if it hasn't begun yet. If there's other people in the chat, you can actually start talking to them. But the reason why I'm showing you this is if you scroll down to the description, you'll find the information about what I know so far about this problem. So you can get a head start on the issue if you're interested in helping with that or following the progress. So now moving on to the timesheets. And that would be the right one here. So on Wednesday, June 30th, an hour 59 minutes. Okay, yeah, 2 hours. Do I round up? No, because I just don't take the extra time to do it. So it'll show up on an invoice, not as an hour 59 minutes, because QuickBooks Online converts that to a decimal form. So it's got crazy number of digits to the right of the decimal point. 9:29 to 11:28 a.m. for Delta. Phone and remote support to prepare community center computers to be used by staff. Began Windows updates. Found Resident 1 computer fails to install updates and has Windows 10 Home 2004. Resident 2 computer has Windows 10 Home 2004. Disabled auto logon for both computers. Performed Windows updates using admin accounts. Advised Debbie a plan to create new user accounts for staff with standardized credentials. Found evidence of infections on both computers. Resident 1 computer has cryptographic services anomaly. Began remediation scans. So quite a bit of additional information to give you there. The community center, this is an apartment building that is government subsidized. So for people to live here, they have to be disabled or have to be elderly and have low income and low assets to be able to qualify for the government assistance. So the institution is required to provide computers. I guess the word institution is not nice, but it's not. It's an apartment complex. People come and go and live on their own. With they typically have home health aides is what assistance they would get if they get any assistance. And so they want to be able to use these computers by staff. So this community center has been shut down during COVID, and they're just getting about ready to reopen it. But in the meantime, the security staff is required to go through some online training. So they want to use these community center computers for that. Well, these community center computers have been set up in such a way that the staff were allowed to install the residents were allowed to install the games that they want to use these computers for, and periodically they would need to get refreshed. I could restore an image, a backup image to them to bring them back to better operation, but I'm going to be taking a different approach with these that you'll be learning about. And actually, this is one of the troubleshooting instance today is going to be with this computer, which was on the lab work #1 live stream. So I can edit that out. So they want to be able to use them by security staff. So when I connected remotely, attempted to do Windows updates, failed updates, currently has Windows 10 Home 2004 for both of them. And I disabled auto log on was one thing I mentioned in here. So I have these computers set up to auto log on. They turn them on, they automatically log in with a standard user account. And so the residents never even know what the password is. So I disabled that so that I could do my work because it gets in the way. Performed updates using admin. And I discussed with Delta about creating new user accounts that can be used by staff. So they're using a different user account than the residents are. And then found evidence of infection. So when I was doing that lab work, I think it was during the lab work that I showed, no, it wasn't the lab work for this. Oh, it was the Windows 11 live stream, or we just talked about Windows 11. I was attached to 2 computers remotely. That was 2 of these 5 computers, but they were still in my client's office. And I was running a emergency recovery scan from MCSoft. And they were finding viruses, and one of them only found 1 virus or infection, and the other one found like 27, something like that. But the symptoms were still present after that was done. So that did not solve the problem of those computers. And one of those computers had the cryptographic services anomaly, which I showed in the TC Computer Experiment series. And that was a computer that I actually have in my lab now, and it still has that infection. And so the MCSoft scan did not fix that infection, didn't even detect anything about it. It's still present. And on that note, I'm suspicious about crypto mining that the computer might be doing, because cryptographic services, crypto mining kind of makes sense. The other thing I'm wondering about is folding at home. Folding at home was that operation where you could make your computer available for the science researchers that were trying to find solutions to COVID. So then moving on to the next time slip. Still on Wednesday, 8 minutes for the CPA office, Romeo. For Tango, phone support or phone discussion regarding onboarding for a new staff member. So they hired a new CPA, and Tango is the new partner in this office. So he's a 50-50 partner, but he's kind of being given a lot of latitude and a lot of rope over managing the operations and kind of sort of bringing the business operations into the current day technology and business operations. So he's compiling his onboarding procedure for new staff. And he asked me about my onboarding procedure for new staff in their office, inquiring about that. So we had a conversation about that. And he actually asked me to provide him with a white paper on what I do for that. So I'm intending to basically send him a copy of my checklist. He said, I'm sure it's going to have several items on it. Well, that's an understatement, but then moving on to the next one, Wednesday the 30th, an hour and 14 minutes for the law office mic. And this has been kind of evolving over a few time slips. 6:23 to 7:37 p.m. for golf, which is the new staff member, reconfigured computer for generic user account using the generic user account email name that I had worked up with Romeo to streamline future change of staff. Use checklist to complete configurations. Copy machine scanning deferred. So I'm trying to limit how late I'll work at night. And I knew they could get along without the copy machine scanning adjusted. But this time slip involves using the generic name for the attorney's assistant instead of an individual's name. So this was the person's initials, 3-letter initials, dot assistant at, and then their custom domain name. That winds up getting reversed in a subsequent time slip, and I'll explain why later. But the generic configuration of the computer using the name of actually that 3-letter acronym, it wasn't the name for the assistant, it's the 3-letter acronym for the attorney, which I guess GLM. Okay, I've been saying this is the law office Mike. Well, his first name is Golf, so Golf Mike. GLM is actually the acronym. So glm.assistant at, and then their domain name is the email address. That winds up getting reversed, but the computer login is going to stick as glm assist. And that's a local Windows user account, but it's also a user account on their server. All right, so that covers that one. I think that's good for this session. I hope to see some of you at the 10 a.m. live stream session. So I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.